Joining us live from Perth. Great to talk to you again, Gemma. We're going to talk about some more instances where the police around this country have been over the top. We all understand we've got to beat this virus. But have a look at this one. The Victoria Police, a paddleboarder out on the Port Phillip Bay, someone out on their own on a paddleboard, and apparently they're approached by police on a boat, taken to the shore and fined. And this bloke, according to the Herald Sun, was a doctor.
Well, the story, and he also lives 200 metres from the beach, according to the story that I read, and walked a couple of blocks to the beach, jumped on his paddleboard and went for a paddle. Look, the Prime Minister and the Chief Health Minister outlined the importance of exercise, and last I checked, we're still supposed to and encouraged to exercise. This is a classic case of police not using their discretion and, dare I say it, their brains in the case. I mean, the dude's out on his own. He is the very definition of social isolation on a board a couple of 100 metres from the shore. Who is he posing a risk to? This is just nonsense.
That's where it goes over the top.
It gives the detractors plenty of stuff to play with, Chris.
Well, it does. You know what? Yeah, that's right. That's why they've got to get it right. Now, there's another example about a funeral where they've had to keep the numbers down to 10 mourners anyway. That's difficult enough, of course. And then while they're doing this in Victoria, the police actually walked into the church, armed police, to start talking to people and counting the numbers. And the people, unsurprisingly, said they were heartbroken that the funeral service was broken up in this way. And then there was another one, again in Victoria, where some people posted their holiday snaps from last year and got fined of it. And the good news, Gemma, is that the Victoria Police and I think the Queensland Police have now admitted, looking at some of these, that they've gone too far. They're going to give back, cancel some of the fines and admit that they've got to just chill a bit.
I'm always a fan of people in leadership able to say, I got it wrong and I'm going to make amends and change my ways. I think that's a sign of strength. I think it came just in time, though, for Victoria Police, because you don't take people with you on a journey as important as this one by being draconian and ham-fisted. Going into that funeral was not necessary, in my view. I don't think it's necessary. The Facebook pictures, I mean, the mind boggles how they even got to that place, investigating and then going to that place. Did they not even think to ask, are they recent pictures? I mean, it's deplorable. It's embarrassing, it's deplorable. It's not what police should be doing in these cases. They should be targeting people who are deliberately having house parties, big barbecues, thumbing their noses at the rest of us and our health by not doing the right thing. And if I could hold up the great isolated state of Australia, Chris, right now, Mark McGowan and our Police Commissioner Dawson, they're best on ground because they've approached it with compassion, pragmatism and a real sense of common sense that leaves the other premiers.
I would pick them up. I would pick up you Western Australians on one point, though, because it was your Premier who went out there with the police to show off the drone, and they were going to fly drones over parks, wanting people to disappear. That's a little bit
deduction for drones. Deduction for drones, but makes up for the drone debacle by a special exemption for the Easter Bunny. That was genius by McGowan's office.
Oh, right, yeah. Gladys Berejiklian did the same thing here. Now, we've got to talk about Donald Trump. As you know, I hate all the Trump critics. They're so predictable. But honestly, the way he performed in this press briefing, showing the media clips of themselves, it's so petty and it's so far away from the main game of dealing with the virus.
Yeah, nobody won out of this one. I admit to being a bit perplexed when I first sort of saw the coverage and then saw parts of the press conference. I didn't manage to see all of that briefing. It was quite a long one. I didn't manage to see all of it. Nobody won in this debacle today. I mean, the media, who are hell-bent on and very partisan towards their attitudes towards Donald Trump, they played to type, and Donald Trump played to the type they're expecting. So you're quite right. At a time where Americans are suffering, literally millions of Americans are suffering, they've got an escalating death toll. I think it's higher than Italy's death toll now, or in the last 24 hours surpassed it. He led with his chin on this one.
Yeah, sure did.
Unnecessary.
Look, there's no doubt that he's been fully focused on the coronavirus for about the last 3 weeks, but he was very much downplaying it early on, and many other leaders as well. But he's completely focused on it now, and to be distracted by the media games shows you the worst aspects of that Donald Trump persona, the most worrying aspects.
Yeah, it shows an inherent narcissism, and it shows a very a thin skin when it comes to his reputation or to that sort of part of it. The best thing he could have done, and indeed the thing he should have done as the leader of not just his country but the free world, the best thing he could have done was to keep his eyes focused on where they deserve to be, not play that kind of game. I mean, to what end? This is just high school politics, Chris.
It sure is. Thanks for joining us, Gemma. I appreciate it.